Hi, I'm Kirk Davies, Rangeland scientist with the Agricultural Research Service at the Eastern Oregon Agricultural Research Center. This week I'm going to discuss sagebrush rangelands. Sagebrush rangelands occupy about 153 million acres in the western United States. The most widely distributed and abundant species of sagebrush is big sagebrush. There are three subspecies of big sagebrush common to our area: basin big sagebrush, mountain big sagebrush, and Wyoming big sagebrush. Mountain big sagebrush is found at higher elevations where temperatures are cooler and more precipitation is received. Basin big sagebrush, the tallest of the big sagebrushes, is found on valley floors and other areas with deep soils that have often been converted to croplands. Wyoming big sagebrush is found on the driest, least fertile sites. Wyoming big sagebrush plant communities are the least productive of the big sagebrushes, though they often have fairly high plant diversity. Sagebrush rangelands are important as a forage base for livestock production and habitat for many wildlife species. A substantial portion of the sagebrush rangelands have been lost as a result of cheatgrass and other exotic weed invasion, pinyon juniper encroachment, cropland conversion, and urbanization. 17.3 million acres of public rangelands in Oregon, Idaho, Washington, Utah, and Nevada are infested with either cheatgrass or Medusa head. Across the Intermountain region, 28 to 42 million acres of sagebrush rangeland has been converted to pinyon juniper woodlands. Loss of sagebrush rangelands can decrease the amount of forage production for livestock. The reduction in sagebrush rangelands has increased concerns for wildlife that are dependent on sagebrush rangelands to meet their dietary and other life history needs. These wildlife species include sage grouse, sage sparrows, sage thrashers, and pygmy rabbits. Vegetation cover and composition are key components used for describing wildlife habitat. They are influenced by topography, soils, precipitation, other environmental characteristics, and disturbances. The variability in plant cover and composition across landscapes makes it difficult to implement general guidelines. For example, Wyoming big sagebrush rangelands are the least productive of the three common subspecies of big sagebrush in our area, as they occupy the driest and least fertile soils, but their vegetation cover values are highly variable. A 6-fold difference in herbaceous cover and an 8-fold difference in sagebrush cover was measured between different Wyoming big sagebrush communities. Over 230 different plant species were found in Wyoming big sagebrush communities sampled in eastern Oregon. The variability in cover and composition creates different types of habitat. These various habitats have different values for different wildlife species. The value of a habitat to a wildlife species is dependent upon the resources it provides, such as food and hiding cover. Heterogeneity of vegetation cover and composition in sagebrush communities is important to meet various wildlife species' habitat needs. These habitat needs change with age and season of use. For example, in the winter, sage-grouse diet consists almost solely of sagebrush leaves. However, in the spring, insects and forbs are critical to the development of sage-grouse chicks. Heterogeneity in sagebrush communities are the result of topography, soils, climate, and disturbances. In many sagebrush communities, dominant perennial bunchgrass species changes with variation in aspect or soils. Natural disturbances, such as fire, also creates heterogeneity in sagebrush communities by shifting dominance away from sagebrush more towards grasses and forbs. To meet the needs of some wildlife species, disturbances may need to be introduced to create a diversity of habitats. Brush beating is a common method used to increase diversity of habitats. Livestock grazing can also be used to create diversity in habitats. Managing sagebrush communities to support the needs of multiple wildlife species is one of the most important challenges facing land managers. Today I'm going to discuss the influence of sagebrush on other plants. Sagebrush has been shown to be a strong competitor for soil nutrients and water. Sagebrush control has often resulted in 2 to 3-fold increases in herbaceous vegetation. However, sagebrush control has not always increased herbaceous vegetation. The general perception is that sagebrush negatively influences associated plant species, but this may not be true on harsher sagebrush sites. Sagebrush plants moderate soil temperature extremes under their canopies. Soil moisture may also be greater under sagebrush canopies than between them during the growing season. On hot, dry sites, the additional moisture and cooler temperatures found beneath sagebrush plants may allow plant species to stay green longer and produce more biomass. At hot, dry locations, grass and forb cover was significantly higher under sagebrush plants than between them. Greater grass and forb cover under sagebrush is probably due to more favorable environmental conditions there than in the area between the sagebrush. I'm Kirk Davies. Thanks for listening.